Hello everyone. So welcome to today's session, which is on CAT 2019, how to target a top percentile in the all-important Quant section of CAT 2019. So Quant is one of the scoring areas, so which means all of you must look to maximize your scores in this section. Today's session, which is So this session is brought to you by me, Nilanjan Dutta, a CAT 100 percentiler, one of the topmost educators on Unacademy and Unacademy Plus for the CAT and the MBA exams segment. So to start the video, I request all of you who are watching the session live to kindly share the session link with all your friends and fellow CAT and MBA aspirants in various CAT preparation, Facebook and WhatsApp groups and forums so that more and more people can join this free session. This is a brief about myself, and I wanted to inform all of you about my plus courses that are going on currently, including the practice course for CAT 2019, which comprises of all subjects. So this is a must-attend course which will be spanning all the way of November up to November 23rd, that is the day before CAT, and this is your ultimate score booster Unacademy Plus course intended to give yourselves a plus 20-25 marks boost in each and every section of CAT 2019. For the first time on Unacademy Plus, I'm being part of a course which involves all the three sections. So do make sure all of you attending each and every session live, because even in the next 12 days, the last 12 days, you have a good enough chance to increase your scores by 20-25 marks, not just in quants, but all of the three sections. To attend this, you need to be subscribed to Unacademy Plus CAT subscription, which is available at unacademy.com/plus. You can use the discount code NilanjanDutta while subscribing. The link is given in the section below, but make sure you use the discount code NilanjanDutta while subscribing to get access to all these courses and get a subscription at a discounted price. So this is also a weekend batch. Will cover the entire VRC, DILR and QA, where we'll be looking at how to solve more questions and sets in less time, including option-based solving and smart guessing approaches, including the best of tips and tricks from experienced educators. So make sure all of you are using the discount code NilanjanDutta subscribing to Plus. As part of this course, I'm covering the entire DILR module. So how do you get access to this? To subscribe to Unacademy Plus, these are subscription options, the least being the 1 month, but as you can see, the 1 month is the costliest. The most recommended and the cheapest option on a per monthly basis is the 12-month subscription, which is all of you recommended to go for this, especially CAT 20 aspirants. Make sure you're going for a 12-month subscription. Those of you at CAT 19 can go for a 3-month subscription. This will cover you for CAT as well as ZAT and the other OMET exams. If you're looking for GDPI as well, then you can go for a 6-month. That will cover you for CAT, ZAT as well as the GDPI season. So either go for this one or this one if you're a CAT 19 aspirant. If you're a CAT 20 aspirant, go for a 12-month subscription. Irrespective of which one you go for, make sure you're using the discount code NilanjanDutta while subscribing. Also, the CAT subscription gives you access to the Quant's Score Booster workshops, where we have dedicated workshops for arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, and number theory, all of them, including mixed quants, conducted by me, a CAT 100 percentiler. It's all part of the same Unacademy Plus subscription. Just use the code NilanjanDutta while subscribing. So these are the reasons why the Quants live classes on Unacademy Plus, the Quants group, the workshop is so very important to make sure that Quants become the position of your strength. So a lot of you have this confusion, how to use the discount code. So you choose your option. So for example, if you go for a 12-month subscription, note, it doesn't matter which subscription plan you occur, because for all of them, the referral code will apply. So in the referral code section, you enter the code Nilanjan Dutta. There's no space between Nilanjan and Dutta, so you enter the code Nilanjan Dutta all together. Click on apply. It'll say the code will apply successfully. The discount will apply here, and you can check out, and you're good to go and attend all the live classes as part of that single subscription. So that's the way you get subscribed. So make sure the next Quant Score Booster workshop, is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 p.m. So make sure if you're subscribing to Unacademy Plus before tomorrow 10 p.m. in the next 24 hours, or you may subscribe to make the most of these last 12 days to CAT 2019. So now let's look at what are the things you need to do to get a top percentile in quants. We'll start with what are the books that you should be referring to for quants. So the best books on quants would include Arun Sharma's book, which is part of the McGraw-Hill education, and the Quantum CAT by Sarvesh Verma. Incidentally, Arun Sharma also teaches live on Unacademy Plus. So you subscribing to Unacademy Plus using the code Nilanjan Dutta, you'll also get access to Arun Sharma's live classes as those of other top educators on Unacademy Plus. Next, we'll go into what are the quant habits that one needs to develop. One of the most important ones is in your day-to-day life activities. If you're looking to do calculations fast, then automatically you will be able to do quants a lot faster when it comes to CAT 2019. So make sure that you're practicing doing calculations fast. At the same time, knowing how to use your calculator optimally is also very important. How to go about the calculations fast is something we stress upon a lot in each of our live classes, and we're giving you some insights into that in today's session as well. Also, if you're good at solving Sudokus and numbers-based puzzle games, that will really help you improve. But what is most important is don't rely too much only on formulas. Try and understand and appreciate concepts in quants as well. Use the discount code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing to Unacademy Plus. Now, what are the things that you need to do from a day-to-day practice in the next few days? So what you can do is, on a daily basis, break it up into 5 components: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, and number theory. Pick up any 2 of them, let's say arithmetic and geometry, and practice 10 quants questions daily for the next 12 days. Also on weekends, pick up 15 minimum miscellaneous topic quants across the 5 areas, but on weekdays at least make sure you're doing in 2 areas 10 quants questions each. The best source of practice, especially when it comes to miscellaneous topic quants, would be past year mocks, because there you can analyze the solutions and option-based approach as well, so that the next time a similar kind of question or a similar set of option-based approaches comes, you can easily do it and score really, really high. Other than that, make sure that you're attending every session live that I'm taking for quants on Unacademy Plus. We'll take a lot of sessions on quants on Unacademy Plus, and make sure that for that, using the discount code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing. Next, we'll move on to what should be your section attempting strategy on CAT exam day. So Unacademy Plus is a very strict information that everybody looks to attempt every question on average using a less than equal to 2 minute approach, which automatically means you need to be able to attempt at least 30 questions. Now, the moment I say at least 30 questions, a lot of you have this question that last year, for example, when IIM Calcutta said the paper, the CAT Quants was very difficult, especially was very lengthy in nature, which made it difficult to attempt so many questions. So what happened last year when I was doing the analysis of the cutoffs, expected cutoffs and the level of difficulty of the paper, the following day I was actually in for a huge surprise. So in that session I was talking about the paper level of difficulty, what the cutoff will be like, and I suddenly see in the chat window of the session there are a lot of people commenting, but there were broadly two groups of students. One who claimed that the paper was very lengthy and the cutoff for 99 plus percentile would be around 40 marks raw score. The other group was complaining about the cutoff should be around 70 because the paper wasn't that lengthy and quite easy. Imagine, suddenly when you're doing an analysis, you find two huge groups of students, one saying the cutoff will be 40, one saying the cutoff will be 70. But the good thing was, on Unacademy Plus platform, you can see the names or the people you're commenting. So when I saw the names, one thing which was very common to all those in the 70 plus claiming bracket were that they were strict followers of the Unacademy Plus live classes. So what they thought was that a lot of the questions which were actually very lengthy and involved 5-minute conventional approaches, they were able to solve using less than 30-second approaches. Not that they were able to solve it completely, but they were able to mark the right answers, at least in these kind of questions. And that is why they suddenly started feeling that 70 was doable. So what they basically did was something like this. There were around 34 questions, so around 1/3 of the paper, 12 odd questions, which were quite difficult, but to mark the right answer, all it required was 30-second approaches. They were able to do those in 6 to 8 minutes. The next 12 odd questions, which were average lengthy, they were able to do in approximately 2 to 2.5 minutes each, which is 30 minutes. And suddenly they are left with 10 difficult questions which they cannot solve quickly. But the thing is, they had with them around 20 to 25 minutes luxury to solve these 10 questions, out of which even if they solved 7 or 8, it was more than enough because they've already solved 12 plus 12, so it had already gone to 30 plus questions. So the main thing was, what enabled them was this period where they managed to get around 12 odd questions using 30-second approaches, even though the normal conventional approach could involve a 5-minute lengthy thing. So now the next question that a lot of you might ask is, what kind of approaches are these that we teach on Unacademy Plus that can help somebody mark an answer which normally requires 5 minutes in 30 seconds? So let us see what we are talking about. So let's break it up into section by section. Let's start with arithmetic. The easiest thing in arithmetic is what is called factors-based approaches. So what do I mean by factors? All of you are aware of prime factors. Why is prime factors important? Very simple. If you take a multiple of, let's say, 11 and you multiply it by any number, you divide it by any number, you add multiples of 11 together and so on, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, your net answer will also be a multiple of 11 because 11 is a prime factor and prime factors cannot be created nor be destroyed, which means in case there's a multiple of 11 in the question and your options are 21, 22, 23 and 24, then you can easily, without solving anything, you can mark the answer as 22 because 22 is the only multiple of 11. I'm not just talking about multiple 11, it could be a multiple of 7, 11, 13, 15, 13, 17, 19, any prime factor, this logic will hold. Someone will be asking, what if it is a multiple of 14? Remember, multiple of 14 is also a multiple of 7, so you can still use the multiple of 7 logic to mark the right answer. And what the interesting thing is, even if the options are closed, which a lot of you tend to fear, you can still end up marking the correct answer with ease. Now, some might be wondering, what if the options were all multiples of 11? Then what would we have done? In that case, we would have gone with the other thing that you can do is approximation approach. So approximation approach is not going to give you the answer. What I'll tell you is the answer is around the 20 mark. So if you're getting an approximate, that answer will be around the 20 mark based on the values. Now if I look at the options, I can still mark the right answer as 22, whereas in this case I would not be able to do so because the options were closed. So the basic idea is, it doesn't matter whether the options are closed or whether the options are far away, either of these approaches will surely end you up with the right answer, which is why it's easier for the examiner to give you closed options. Otherwise, somebody will just look at an approximate values, approximate answer, and mark the answer as 22. But the good thing about Unacademy Plus students is, even if you give closed options, they'll still mark the right answer without even solving the question. Now, the question is, will this factors with approach work only for arithmetic, or will it work for geometry as well? If you remember, all the formulas or theorems in geometry involve multiplication, division, or ratios. Remember the entire concept of similar triangles, products like PA into PB is equal to PC into PD. All of them are basically multiplication division formulas, which means every case this factors logic will hold. In addition to this, what you can do in geometry is things like figure approximation approach. What is that? In case I'm able to draw the figure approximately to scale accurately, and if I have a habit of being able to draw 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2 centimeter lines, and if I can draw it to scale, then automatically what you're doing is you're getting a miniature of the figure. So even if the question mentions 10 centimeters, what I do is I draw it to 1:5 scale, which means I draw 2 centimeter lines of 10 centimeters and so on. And then all the questions ultimately will involve either the value of the length or the value of the area or the ratio of the areas. So in case I get a length of 1.8 centimeters in the figure, all I'll do is I'll scale it back in the ratio 1:5 and mark the right answer as 9 centimeters. So if you're doing a figure approximation, you'll still almost always end up with the right answer. Now some might be asking, you might get confused between 9 and 9.1 centimeters. Remember, you will not, because this is a multiple of 13, which means it will require a multiple of 13 in the question, otherwise this can never come. Similarly, 9.2 centimeters is a multiple of 23, so even that cannot come unless there's a multiple of 23 in the question. So basically on combining both, you'll always end up with the right answer, even if you're not able to solve it. And that was the reason why Unacademy Plus students last year found this so easy. Same thing in modern maths. Remember, anything like, let's say 13p7, this is a multiple of 13, correct? 13c7, again a multiple of 13, because it will be 13 into 12 into 11 into 10, and then the factorials will come, right? So all of these will give you prime factors. Even if it was 14p7, it will still be a multiple of 13, because it will be 14 into 13 into something. So again, the entire modern maths can be done using the factors based approaches. So all you need to do is, in the next 12 days, master these approaches, which is why what we have is the Quant Score Booster sessions. That is one of the major aims of the Quant Score Booster workshop, to ensure that unlike last year, I do not want anybody to crib day after CAT saying the quants was difficult, but given that this year it's expected that the quants paper will be difficult. So this is your last chance in the last 12 days. Make sure that all of you are attending every session live starting from Wednesday 10 p.m. session. To be a part of the session, you can use the code NilanjanDutta while subscribing. So preferably CAT-19 people, go for the 3-month, 6-month subscription for CAT, or the 6 month if you're looking at GDPI as well. CAT-20 people, the 12-month subscription, but subscribe immediately before 10 p.m. on Wednesday. Use the discount code Nilanjan while subscribing. Be careful, there's no space between Nilanjan and Dutta in the discount code. And this is where you go and you apply it in the referral code section. There's no space between the word Nilanjan and Dutta. You click on apply, the code will apply successfully, irrespective of which subscription you choose, and the prices will become a lot cheaper. You can also use your dashboards from your mocks to determine which are your strong and scoring areas. For example, leading dashboard, I believe, is the IMS mocks dashboard. You can also use the more dashboard like the time dashboard and so on. Whichever mock you're going for, use them. So you can use that dashboard. So credits to IMS Time and Mocks for providing such dashboards, which can give you which are your strong and scoring areas, so that you can focus on your strengths, and at the same time make sure that you're focusing on those which will give you more marks on the day. Remember, mocks out of 3 are ordeal. The best mocks would indeed be the IMS mocks, and the reason is they provide you with this kind of a dashboard where you have the score improvement topic wise and the marks per minute, which is the most important thing that can guide you on how you can improve on your scores. So this is the IMS dashboard, for example, where the marks per minute is going to give you the return on time, using which you can improve your scores. This will tell you which are those areas where you score better compared to other areas. So let's say for arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, and number systems, your marks per minute is reading like this: 1.2, 1.4, 0.6, 0.9, and 1.1, and your average is 1.1. That automatically means the 0.6 area is where your weakness lies. So that means geometry is where your weakness lies. So automatically you would look to work on your geometry portion, and at the same time on exam day, try and focus on attempting more questions from your non-geometry areas, not on your weak areas, because that will not fetch you mark. So what the marks per minute is doing is it's acting as a key metric called return on time. Also, make sure you're taking not more than 2 marks a week, exactly 2 marks a week. But make sure you're doing a thorough analysis of each mock that you're taking, and along with that, what is very important is taking mocks in your time slot. So as you know, right now the CAT admit cards are out. So all of you know whether you've been assigned the morning slot or evening slot, respective of whichever slot you've assigned. Make sure that you're taking your mocks in that particular slot. So you've got a morning slot, make sure you're doing the mock in a 9 to 12 slot. In case of evening slot, make sure you're doing the mock in the evening slot, which is 2 to 5. So any questions, anybody? Similarly, The same thing could have been done for algebra as well, where you have the luxury of approaches, not just factor-based approaches, which is always going to work, but along with that, you have things like value substitution approaches. We can put small values and check. Also, option elimination is a very important thing, especially in topics like logarithms, inequalities, and so on. There, minimizing the number of checks you are doing using these approaches is very, very important. The same kind of things can be done in numbers as well. Similar in modern maths, for probability questions, approximate probability is a very good technique of getting to the right answers quickly. So these are some of the techniques that you can use to really score very well in Quant. But make sure you're doing that. A good attempt in Quant is set to be 30 plus questions. So make sure that you're following the 3 breakup question. That is 12 questions which are easily doable in 30 odd seconds. You're doing that in 6 to 8 minutes. The next 12 questions is average lengthy. You're doing it in 30 minutes. There are 2.5 per question. And finally, the 10 difficult questions, even if you take quite a bit of time, you can solve even 6 or 7 of them because you still end up with 30 plus attempts. The other thing is attempt the Quant's paper in a linear sequence, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to 34. Only if you come across a particular question which is from a topic which is in your weak area based on your mocks analysis dashboard. For example, let's say question 3 is from that area, skip question 3, continue with question 4 and so on. But otherwise, you expect to attempt all the questions in a linear sequence. What this is also doing is, the moment you know that you're in question number 28, you approximately have an idea you've attempted 25, 26 questions thus far. It automatically knows how well you're doing on the time front. You do not need to go around checking how many are marked in green and count number of attempts at any point of time. So keep it simple. At the end, every 10 minutes, you need to keep a checkpoint to ensure that you've attempted at least 5 questions. Every 10 minutes, you should have been done with 5 additional questions. So 5 questions at the end when there are 50 minutes left, 10 questions done when there are 40 minutes left, 15 questions done when there are 30 minutes left, 20 questions done when there are 20 minutes left, 25 questions plus done when there are 10 minutes left, and 30 questions plus done when there are 0 minutes left. What this approach is also doing is it's ensuring that you don't need to waste time in choosing questions. The moment you're in 30 plus, that basically means you're getting to look at all the questions, so there's no way you'll miss out on easy questions at the end, because you're getting a chance to glance through almost the entire paper. Also, as part of the Unacademy Plus subscription, you get Unacademy mocks as well, where we discuss the same kind of approaches. So do make sure all of you are attending all these sessions live, including the practice course for CAT 2019, all subjects. So what you do is use the dashboards that you're getting from each of your mocks. For example, here this is the IMS dashboard. So make sure you're using them for whichever mock you're taking for time. It could be for time, it could be for CL, whichever one you're using. Make sure that you're using it judiciously. IMS would probably be the best one. So the practice score, what this course will do is it'll give you a plus 20-25 marks boost to each and every section of CAT 2019. So do make sure you're attending every session, because the session will go up to November 23rd, the day before CAT. It's available on Unacademy Plus subscription. Use the discount code NilanjanDutta while subscribing to attend the live classes as part of this course. These are the reasons why this course is so very important, so you can solve more questions and sets in less time and master these kind of approaches that we spoke about in today's session. Suddenly a number of attempts in each section will go up to 30 plus in each section, that is 90 plus overall in CAT 2019. So this is where you can get the entire DLR module, as well as you have the Quant score with the workshops. The next workshop is tomorrow at 10 p.m. where you can make sure that you're attending and improving your Quant scores by 20-25 marks again. To attend all of this, be subscribed to Unacademy Plus. CAT 19 people, go for the 3-month or the 6-month subscription. CAT 20 people, the 12-month subscription. Inform all your juniors to go for the 12-month subscription as well. In case you have any affordability issues, at least make sure you're going for the 1 month and you don't leaving any stones unturned or any excuses when it comes to CAT 2019. Whichever subscription you're going for, whatever price is quoted, on top of that, you'll get additional discounts for using the code NilanjanDutta while subscribing. So how do you get the additional discount? Here, you choose a subscription plan. Let's say you choose a 12-month subscription plan. Here in the referral code section, you enter the code NilanjanDutta and the space for NilanjanDutta in the code. Click on apply. You'll see it has applied successfully and you're all good to go as you check out. So hope to see all of you as part of the next Quant School workshop on Wednesday at 10 p.m. On that note, thank you everybody and happy learning.